All right, we are live. Are we live? We are live. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. What's going on, everybody? We are back with episode number 7 of Mouse Madness. For those of you that are watching on the replay, welcome in. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. We're going to have a fun time tonight. Hey, Rob. What's going on, Rob? John, how you doing, guys? Good to see you. This is part 2 of our Disney Female Bracket Challenge. We are going to get them down. Hey, Steve, what's going on? Melissa's in here. Alex, how are you? Welcome in, everybody. We're going to have a good time tonight. We are going to get it down to number 1 tonight. We are going to finalize our bracket tonight. Disney Female Bracket. Phantom Gazer, Chris, what's going on? How you doing? Good to see you. Glad you're in here. Welcome in, everybody. We are going to have a good time tonight. We got 32 females left, 32 Disney females left, and we're going to get it down to number 1 tonight. We're going to finish it off tonight. We're going to let everybody vote. We're going to get down to number 1 and see who is the fairest of them all. Yeah, Rob, I can do that. I can send that. I think I still got that villain sheet. I'll look it up for you and I'll get it. I let the dog in. He wants to come in and be part of the stream. Come on. Well, welcome in, everybody. Hey, Marisol, our Disney Adventures. Saw your news. I hear you're going to Disney. That sounds awesome. I hope you're going to have fun. Yep, part 2. Yep, we are going to have a good time tonight. We have got 32 Disney females left. And I'll tell you, I was looking at the bracket, and all of these matchups are really, really hard matchups. I don't see how any of them are really going to be that easy, to be honest with you. Yeah, who let the dog in? Who? I did. I always say that to him. Hey, Noah, what's going on, Noah? How you doing, buddy? He went running up the stairs, did he? Yep. It's funny, Rob, you said that, but every time I tell my son, I said, Mason, let the dog out. And after he does it, I always say, now we've answered that question. And he goes, what are you talking about? And I go, who let the dog out? He doesn't get it. Yeah, the dog is an hour early, John. You're right. He usually makes his presence felt or known at the end of the night, not at the beginning of the night. For sure. But we have a lot of really good matchups tonight. And I think these are all really hard matchups. But before we get into that, for the purpose of the, hey, Disney World Adventures, how you doing? Welcome in. I want to first and foremost thank, and as usual, Dean from Dreamers Empire for hosting the show. They're over at the live place. If you haven't been to the live place, please go out there and subscribe to their channel on YouTube and also visit their website. They have a lot of family-friendly live streamers on there. And it's not all Disney. They have other stuff too. It's a majority Disney, but they have other stuff as well. And it's a really great channel, family-friendly, highly recommended. Great live streamers on there. And some of them are in here tonight. So be sure to check out Dreamers Empire. We would love for you to do that. And of course, if you could, please give us a thumbs up on the video. It definitely helps the channel and helps kind of get our name out there a little bit. We'd appreciate it. We have some of the power channels in here tonight. Of course, Rob's one of them. And we have a few others in here. So I definitely appreciate everybody's support. Everybody's wonderful. Dean is the agent for sure. He's everybody's agent, Rob, I think. But let's get started. Let's get started with this. Chris, you don't know that's true yet. You never know. You never know. That's right. Marisol. I can't do it, Marisol. I don't think I would do it right. Let's say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. I don't know if I did it right or not, but I know that's how you guys do it. And thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. But let's go. Let's start with it. Now, of course, we started with 64 Disney female characters, and we got past the entire first round. So we were lucky enough to do that. So we've cut it in half. We've gone from 64. We're now down to the last 32. So let's get round 2 started. Hey, Cargo's in here. What's going on, Cargo? Welcome in. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Haven't talked to you since. So I hope you're doing well. But let's get started. Let's get right into this. We're going to get right into it. And again, we got a lot of matchups. But our first matchup, and again, we're starting right off the bat. We're starting with a hard one. And we are starting with, hey, Main Street and Mickey, welcome in. No problem at all. We appreciate that. Thank you for stopping in. We appreciate that. All right, so let's get going. So our first matchup of the night for round 2 is going to be Cinderella versus Sadness. And of course, Sadness is from Inside Out. Cinderella versus Sadness. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate that very much. Cinderella versus Sadness. And I actually think this is kind of a hard matchup. I know a lot of people like Sadness for sure. Oh, that's right. Cargo doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving. What am I thinking? That's right. Canada. Sorry. Poor me. I'm so shallow. I think everybody lives in the United States. So Melissa says Cinderella. No, I won't hold it against her, Rob. Thanks, our Disney Adventures. I appreciate that. Thanks, Marisol. 20 people watching. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Hey, Rob's in here. What's going on, Rob? Rob says Cinderella as well. So we've got 2 votes for Cinderella. And, you know, Sadness is such a unique character. That's right. Canada has a different Thanksgiving. There it is. Chris says Cinderella. Well, oh, I tried it is in October. Well, happy Thanksgiving for October, Cargo. I don't know these things. That's why I love this channel. And that's why I love this community. Because you guys educate me. Because I didn't know that. Well, I love Thanksgiving. My gosh, I think I've had turkey dinner 4 times already since Thursday. All right, so we've got some Cinderella. Hey, Alyssa's in here. She picked Cinderella as well. So Cinderella's getting a lot of votes early on. I'm surprised we haven't gotten any votes for Sadness yet. Sadness is from Inside Out, John. So if you're right, you probably haven't seen that yet. Rob says Cinderella, he hates Sadness. Well, I tell you, that would have been my pick too. Would have definitely been Cinderella. So she's going to move on for sure. Now, you're right, Rob. I mean, Rob, she's lovable, but she's no Cinderella. I agree. I agree. All right, so Cinderella is going to move on. Bums me out. Very good. So our next match, you know what, Rob? I'll be honest with you. I never have turkey. Very seldom do I have turkey any other time of the year. That for me, it'll be weeks before I'm over turkey. I love turkey. I really do. All right, so our next matchup. Our next matchup is going to be Alice from Alice in Wonderland versus Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Whew, that's a tough one. So again, hey, Arjons, what's going on, buddy? Jesse Gottlieb, hi, how are you? Welcome in. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you stopping in. We're doing our Disney Female Bracket Challenge. The Tactical Traveler, how are you? Welcome in. Glad you're here. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you stopping in. Again, we're doing our Disney Female Bracket Challenge, trying to count it down and vote it down to see who is the fairest of them all. And right now, we are doing a matchup where it's Alice from Alice in Wonderland versus Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. So how does everybody vote there? That's kind of a tough one, I think. I think Alice is an underrated Disney female character. Rob picks Sally for Meg. Rob, you're cool, dude. You're right, Rob. That's who she would have picked too. So she would have got a vote no matter what. Yes, Rob Fletcher, I agree. They are very different characters. I agree 100%. And I think that's what I like about it is because of the fact they're so very different, it makes it hard to choose. But Jesse says Alice. Tactical Traveler says Alice. Rob is an Alice fan. Disney World Adventure says Sally. How about that? Chris is going to vote for Alice. Says a friend of his is at Disney at this very moment, is obsessed with Alice, so he's going to vote for Alice. Rob, I'm not the biggest Alice fan either, but our oldest son loved Alice in Wonderland when he was young, for sure. And there you go. Melissa just said it for Walter. Absolutely. Well, I have to be honest with you. As much as I know Meg loves Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, I really don't have a connection to that movie. I like her character. I think her character is really, really neat. But I really do like Alice from Alice in Wonderland. So for me, Alice in Wonderland is going to move on. And I think for the majority of people, everybody picked Alice. So Alice moves on to the next round. And again, I told you, man, a lot of these matchups are going to be really, really hard. They are not easy. Hey, Isaac's in here. Hi, Isaac. How you doing, buddy? Welcome in. Welcome in. Again, folks, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, please do so. Definitely helps out the stream and the channel. We'd appreciate that. Yeah, me too, Chris. I agree too. For some reason, Chris said, for some reason he tends to forget that Nightmare is a Disney movie. I agree. And it's not one of the first ones I think of when I think of Disney movies. All right, so our next matchup is going to be, oh my gosh, another really tough matchup. It's going to be Tinkerbell versus Lady from Lady and the Tramp. Whew. Again, another really tough matchup. Tinkerbell versus Lady from Lady and the Tramp. Thanks, Disney World Adventures. I appreciate that very much. Tinkerbell versus Lady from Lady and the Tramp. Man, that's a tough one. Melissa picks Tink. For me, I got to think about this. Isaac says Tink. My Disney Park memories. Hey, welcome in. Thank you. I didn't see you. I wasn't sure if this was your first comment, but thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate you here. Everybody, Tinkerbell. Disney World Adventures, Tinkerbell. Phantom Gazer, Tinkerbell. Yeah, she is Disney. That's true. John says Tink. Lady is no one's radar. Is on no one's radar. It seems like it, Rob. That's true. Marisol, I'm excited for you guys. I hope you're going to have a good time. I hope you get to meet Arjons. That'll be great. Tactical Traveler says Tink. Noah says Tink. Cargo picks Lady. There you go, Rob. Cargo. We got a Lady vote. There you go. Yeah, her name's Lady. Tinkerbell, Tinkerbell, Tinkerbell. One vote for Cargo. Well, I'm going to say Tinkerbell as well. Although I really like Lady from Lady and the Tramp. But I agree. Tinkerbell is really Disney. When she's on at the beginning of every single movie, when they show the castle, you see her go across. She's everywhere. I agree 100%. So here we go. Another really tough matchup. Our next matchup is going to be Lilo from Lilo and Stitch versus Rapunzel. Lilo versus Rapunzel. Disney World Adventures, no problem. We'll be here. We have Lilo versus Rapunzel. And that is not an easy... Man, these matchups are really hard. And they're going to get harder, too. That's the worst part about it. They're going to get even harder. Lilo versus Rapunzel. Oh, my gosh. Man, that's a tough matchup. Tactical Traveler says Lilo. Melissa, I knew you'd pick Rapunzel. Isaac, Rapunzel. Rob, Rapunzel. Cargo says Lilo is her home slice. Yeah, Isaac, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Noah says Rapunzel. My Disney Park Memory says Rapunzel. Rob thinks Lilo is kind of annoying. That's funny. Chris says Rapunzel. Oh, it's funny. Isaac, yay. Cargo is on her. Hey, Disney Life for me. Welcome in. How are you? Is this D or Miguel? It's probably D, but I'm just going to ask. Arjon says Rapunzel. Look at you, Arjon. You go, boy. No, you're not annoying at all. Cargo, you know better than that. Well, I'm going to be honest. One of my favorite Disney characters. Oh, it is D. Hey, D. Welcome in. Well, I'm going to pick Rapunzel as well. I think Lilo is very cute. She's a wonderful character. But Rapunzel is, I think, a highly underrated Disney princess. And she would have been my pick anyway. Excellent. Okay, exclamations means D. All right, so we are moving on. And that's actually that bracket. That bracket is now done. So let's move on to the next matchup. Oh my gosh. Here comes a really tough one. We have Belle from Beauty and the Beast versus Moana. Oh my gosh. Belle from Beauty and the Beast versus Moana. Oh, that is a really, really tough matchup. Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Well, maybe not. Melissa says Belle. Rob says Belle. I think that's a really hard one, to be honest with you. Oh my gosh. Belle versus Moana. Cargo, Moana. Yeah, I think that's tough, Rob, too. Noah, Belle. Tactical Traveler, Belle. Disney Park Memories, Belle. A lot of Belle votes. D, that is a tough one. I agree. Chris says Gaston, Belle. Rob says Belle. Sorry, Moana. John says Belle. Cargo's on her own island. Cargo, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes some of the best conversations I have all day are with myself. Yeah, you guys are definitely on opposites, Rob. You're right. So Belle versus Moana. Lots of votes for Belle. Lots of votes for Belle. And I really enjoy Belle as well. I think she's a great character. So Belle's going to get my vote as well. Hey, Nathan Rita. How are you? Welcome in. So we have Belle, for sure, is going to move on to the next round. All right, so let's move on. So we are moving on from there. We have our next matchup. Oh, another tough one. Talk about two totally different characters. We have Elsa. We have Elsa versus Jessica Rabbit. Elsa versus Jessica Rabbit. D went with Moana too. D, nothing wrong with that. So we have Elsa versus Jessica Rabbit. Two totally different characters, for sure. Cargo says Elsa. Disney Life says Elsa. So D and Cargo are going with Elsa on that one. Rob says Elsa. D says hands down Elsa. Disney Park Memories, Melissa, Arjons. Everybody's Elsa. Rob says Jessica Rabbit's another annoying character. Elsa, let it go, Jessica. Yeah, I agree, Chris. Elsa's definitely, much more the Disney character. John says Elsa. Tactical Traveler says Elsa. All right, well, we are going with Elsa because obviously it is pretty much a unanimous vote that Elsa gets the vote. So there you go. Jessica is so 20 years ago. Yes, she is. She is definitely... Well, hey, Snow White is so 80 years ago. Yeah, that's right. She's not bad. She's just drawn that way, Tactical Traveler. You're right. But Elsa is going to move on. So we are going to let Elsa move on to the next round. Whew, here comes another really tough matchup. Although I think how everybody's going to vote because of one of our other YouTube community people. And that's going to be Wendy from Peter Pan versus Megara from Hercules. Wendy versus Megara. Now, how does everybody vote there? I think I know. And we can't think about Meg from Mickey's Magic. You have to make your own decision. Because we know how she would vote. Meg, if you're watching this, I know who you're voting for. So Melissa says Meg. Rob says Meg. D's still thinking. Brian, what's going on, buddy? No problem, bud. No problem. Have a good time with your mom tonight. Hope you guys have a good dinner. Disney Park Memories and Cargo say Wendy. Yes, good girl versus bad girl. Pretty much. You're right, D. Rob says Wendy. Nathan says Wendy. Wow, how about that? Rob, you pick both. You can't pick both. Chris says Wendy. Rob says Wendy, darling. Yep, that's true. How did we get to Neverland? Meg versus Wendy. All right. So this is actually closer than I thought. Hey, Stacy, welcome in. How are you? Hope you had a good time on Jeopardy the other night. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Wendy. Meg, Wendy. You know what? This is a really tough one for me. Oh my gosh. Oh man, this is really a hard one. This is a hard one for me. But I'm going to have to go with Meg on this one. I really like her character. I think she's a lot of fun. She's definitely different. She's kind of I wouldn't call her a bad guy versus a good guy. She's kind of in between. But, hey, AJ's in here. What's going on, AJ? Welcome in, buddy. But I'm going to go with Meg. Meg's going to go. She's going to win this round. And that was probably, so far for me, the toughest matchup for me to pick. That was the hardest one so far. Because, I really enjoy Wendy as a character. I think she's very important, and she really kind of helps Peter Pan a lot. But we're going with Meg. Meg's going to move on. All right, so let's see. So our next matchup, oh my goodness, another really tough matchup. Stacy, I thought you did great. You did really good. You did really good. Hey, Melissa and I have been on Jeopardy twice now, and we're 0 for 2. We can't win to save our soul. All right, so our next matchup is going to be Anna from Frozen. Anna from Frozen versus Jasmine from Aladdin. Anna from Frozen versus Jasmine from Aladdin. Another really tough matchup. Really tough. And I want you all to vote, for sure. Anna. Oh, D says Anna. Cargo says Jasmine. Disney Park Memory says Anna. D says Anna all the way. How about that? AJ says Anna. Melissa laughs and says Jasmine. Rob says Anna. Tactical Traveler says Jasmine. Chris says Anna. So we have a lot of Anna votes. And poor Jasmine is not getting enough love in this. I'm surprised at that. So Anna, Jasmine, Anna, Jasmine, Anna, Anna. A lot of Anna votes. Stacy says Anna. John says Jasmine. Yeah, it is. It's a fun bracket. I kind of put it together, I don't know, a week and a half ago. I figured it'd be a different kind of bracket to do. So I just went at all the Disney movies that I could find and tried to find as many female characters as I could. And really likable, lovable characters that I knew everybody would love. And, you know, just kind of make it a hard one. Chris says we're calling your bluff. Rob says Jasmine. Zoe would vote for Jasmine. Noah's voting for Jasmine. John says it's a whole new world. Well, John, it's not a whole new world for me. So, this is my bracket. And Chris knows where I'm going with this. So, for me, Jasmine's going to win this round. I love Jasmine. She is by far my favorite. I kind of give it. I'm not really giving it away yet because I'm not going to do that throughout. But Jasmine's going to win this round for me. She's one of my favorites for sure. Chris is laughing. Chris is like, I don't even know why we're doing this. What a waste of time. No, I'm just kidding. So Jasmine moves on. So that takes care of the left side of the bracket for the next round. So that we have now narrowed that side down. So let's get to the right side of the bracket. And again, we have some really tough matchups on this right side. And let's get right into it. We have our next matchup. And this one, Melissa's laughing. This might be the... I think this might be the easiest so far of the picks for matchups. But we have Snow White versus Esmeralda. Of course, Esmeralda is from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Two totally different type of characters. One's a real go-getter. You know, very, you know, she is a fighter, you know, very out there in that respect. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. And then, of course, you have Snow White, who's the fairest of them all. And that's a tough matchup. Two totally different characters. Who's everybody picked? Melissa says Snow White. Tactical Traveler has Snow White. Yeah, D, are you streaming later? That's a good question. For those that don't know, I think D usually comes on at Disney Life for me. They go live at, I think, 10 o'clock and do their Disney Talk Tuesdays. So be sure to check them out later if they're going live. So D is going to think about what she's going to talk about, and she might go live. So if she did, check her out. So AJ's picking Esmeralda, and so is Cargo. Brian's saying Snow White. Chris says Snow White. Noah says Snow White. Arjon, Snow White. Rob, Snow White in a landslide. Hey, Timothy Rainwaters, welcome in. How are you? Hope you're doing well. D says she's standing with Cargo. That's funny. You guys are teaming up. That's funny. John says Snow White and the dwarfs. That's like 6. That's like 7 extra votes. I was going to say 6 extra votes. Snow White and the 6 dwarfs. That just doesn't sound right. So Snow White versus Esmeralda. Well, I got to be honest with you. As much as I like Esmeralda, I think I like Snow White just a little bit more. And we're going to go with Snow White in that round. So the first princess is going to move on. And she is moving on to the next round. And the next matchup, here's another really, really tough matchup. And I'm really interested as the train goes by. No, Brian, I've never heard of them. If I had to get rid of a dwarf, I would probably get rid of... I don't know. Sneezy? Maybe. I wouldn't want to be around somebody that sneezes that much. So our next matchup, here we go. I hope everybody's sitting down for this one. We have Merida from Brave versus Pocahontas. Merida versus Pocahontas. Again, another really, really tough matchup. Gosh, that one's... Man, these are not getting any easier. Slurpee. Slurpee would be the 8th dwarf, Stacy, and that's the one that eats all the time. Melissa says Merida. Pocahontas for D. There you go. Oh, Stacy meant Sleepy. I got you. So Merida, Pocahontas. Cargo with Pocahontas. Stacy Rogers, Merida. AJ's thinking about it. Arjon's with Pocahontas. Wow. I'm surprised. I really didn't think Pocahontas was going to get that many votes. I really didn't. So a lot of Pocahontas, a couple Merida. I'm surprised at that. John says Pocahontas. Chris with Merida. Yeah, they are legit songs, Steve. I agree. Yep. And you know what? Pocahontas is one of the Disney movies for princesses, in my opinion, that's forgotten about the most. AJ says Pocahontas. Wow, how about that? Cargo says Pocahontas is her people. Rob Fletcher picks Merida. There you go. All right. It is a great song, John. Colors of the Wind definitely is. That's a great song. Great, great song. So a lot of votes. Yes, Stacy, 2 very tough females. I agree 100%. Yeah, Dee, she is underrated. She's a lot like Mulan in a lot of ways. But see, to me, Dee, I'll be honest with you, I think Merida is a lot like Mulan. Tough character, does her own thing, is a fighter, definitely wants to be, in charge, and is a go-getter herself. And I can kind of see Merida that way too. But yeah, Pocahontas is an underrated movie. I'll be honest, it's not one of my favorites, but it's one that I think should get more love than it does, especially in the parks. You never see Pocahontas anywhere in the parks. Disney World Adventure says Merida. So for me, I got to be honest with you. I love the accent of Merida. I love her character, and she's going to move on for me. I love Merida. She's my pick. As much as I like Pocahontas, I like Merida a little bit more, so Merida is going to move on for me. Yeah, that's true. D, I will admit that. You're right. Brave didn't have as many catchy tunes as we're used to in some of these other movies. You're right. Like Mulan had great songs. I agree 100%. Yep, a lot of great songs in those movies. Same with, Just Around the River Band, like AJ's saying. Yep, I agree. Yeah, Miko, Stacy, you can kind of see Miko here and there. They used to have Miko and Pocahontas meet a long time ago. They don't do that anymore. But they used to. They used to have them. And I think on special events you can meet Miko, but it's very seldom. 100 correct. 100% correct. Beef, pork, chicken. She's a girl worth fighting for. Yes, that's true, D. Songs that get stuck in your head are important to you. And I agree. I agree. All right, let's move on to our next matchup. And here we go. This is going to be a tough one. We have Mrs. Potts versus Dory from Finding Nemo. Mrs. Potts versus Dory. Now, who does everybody pick there? Mrs. Potts versus Dory. Again, really tough one. AJ's going with Ellen DeGeneres and Dory. I think I know which way I'm going to go on this one too, but Melissa, of course, loves Dory. Stacy, Mrs. Potts. Arjon's Dory. Well, Disney says Mrs. Potts because, heaven sakes, Is that a spot? Clean it up. We want the company impressed. Disney World Adventure and Chris, Mrs. Potts. Wow, a lot of Mrs. Potts, folks. Angela Lansbury, she's got a lasting effect on folks. You know what? And that's funny because, you know, she's a great character. For sure. Absolutely. And an important character, too. So we got a lot of Mrs. Potts votes, a few Dory votes. Again, very even. John says Mrs. Potts. No, you don't want me singing D. Trust me. All right, so we are moving along. Well, I'm telling you guys, I don't see how I can put Dory over Mrs. Potts. Dory is such an important female character in the Disney community and in the Disney movies. She even had a movie made after herself, Finding Dory. So for me, it's got to be Dory. Yes, she is in the new Mary's Poppin' movie. You're right, Stacy. Catchy songs are causing the votes. Yeah, Dory makes me laugh too, AJ. I agree 100%. All right, sorry, I was just reading the comments, folks. All right, Rob Fletcher picks Mrs. Potts. Well, it's going to be Dory for me, guys and gals. We're going to move on with Dory. And our next matchup is, again, a real tough one. And I think this is going to be really, really tough for everybody. We have Minnie Mouse, the big guy's main squeeze. Minnie Mouse versus Tiana from Princess and the Frog. So that's a really tough matchup there. Who does everybody pick there? Minnie Mouse versus Tiana. Yeah, Rob, Mrs. Potts' voice is great. Great voice there. But our next matchup, Minnie Mouse versus Tiana. Wow, that's a tough one. Minnie Mouse, AJ, Disney World Adventures, Melissa. No, you can't go wrong with Minnie Mouse. You're right. Cargo picks Tiana. We got some tough ones here, man. Yep, Tiana's another strong woman character. It's forgotten about a lot, D. I agree 100%. Arjon's picks Minnie. Chris picks Minnie. A lot of Minnie votes. A lot of Minnie votes. I think if Meg were here, Meg would probably... Yeah, Stacy loves Tiana, but you have to go with the original Minnie Mouse. I agree. Who do you guys think Meg would pick? I don't know who Meg would pick in this one. I think she loves both of them. That would be a tough one for her there. I don't know who Dan would pick either if he was in here. But you know, both of these are really great Disney female characters, and but I think for me, I think I'm going to have to go with Minnie Mouse. You know, she's like one of the Fab Five. She's probably she's really the original and only female in the main five characters. You know, you have Daisy, and Daisy's there, but she's not as important as Minnie Mouse is. Minnie Mouse is, you know, she's the one that keeps Mickey in line. So Minnie Mouse is going to move on for me, gang. I agree, Rob. She's being 90 years old. She never looked so good. So Minnie Mouse moves on. All right, so let's move on ourselves, and we're going to move on to the next matchup. And Minnie for Rob, for John Hazelton as well. And here's one. I think this one might be an easy one as well. We have Ariel. Ariel from The Little Mermaid versus Queen Eleanor. That's Merida's mom from Brave. So Queen Eleanor from Brave versus Ariel, The Little Mermaid. And who does everybody pick there? That's true, Stacey. It does. It does say a lot, for sure. AJ picks Ariel. Okay. Stacey, Ariel. Melissa, Ariel. D, Ariel. Disney World Adventures, Ariel. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that would be the one. I mean, if there is, you know, this late in the matchups, if there's really kind of a landslide winner, it's, you know, everybody, Chris, John, R. Johns, everybody's saying Ariel. And that would be my pick, too. I think that's the right pick there. I think that's kind of a no-brainer one. Cargo says Ariel because she's all about the mermaid life. Yep, John, under the sea. All right, so we are going with Ariel on that one. All right, so we are moving on. And the next one, oh, here's a tough one. This is different. Talk about, these are two characters that I wouldn't say are main characters, but they are important characters in their in their respective movies. And that's the Blue Fairy from Pinocchio versus Violet from The Incredibles. The Blue Fairy versus Violet from The Incredibles. Who does everybody pick there? Wow, that's a tough one. The Blue Fairy versus Violet from The Incredibles. Who do we have there? Talk about a tough match. Oh my gosh. So D says Violet. And the Blue Fairy's kind of an important character too. And she's the one that brings Pinocchio to life. Melissa says Violet. Cargo the Blue Fairy. And next been giving me issues all week. I think it's stress from work. Chris says he doesn't remember the Blue Fairy, so he's going with Violet. Disney World Adventure says Violet. Rob Fletcher's going with Blue Fairy. AJ, Violet, but the Blue Fairy's voice is soothing. Yes, I agree, AJ. Good point. John says the Blue Fairy. Disney World Adventures put violent. Art John's the Blue Fairy. Stacy says Blue Fairy because it could be because of her love for Once Upon a Time. Fair enough. It's all right. Doesn't matter how you vote as long as you vote. Cargo. Blue Fairy helps her favorite, so she's all about her. Brian says Violet. I think this is a hard one for me, but I'm going to go with Blue Fairy. I think her importance in her movie is goes without question, and I think her character is pretty iconic, and we're going with the Blue Fairy on that one for sure. All right, so a couple more matchups in this round, and then we're done, and then we're moving on to the next round. So we have, oh, wow, here's a good one. Mulan versus Vanellope von Schweetz. Of course, Vanellope is from Wreck-It Ralph. And Mulan. So Mulan versus Vanellope. Who do we have there? Talk about a tough matchup. Excuse me as I take a drink. Wet my whistle there. I knew Melissa would pick Mulan. It's one of her favorites. D picks Mulan. AJ Mulan. Stacy says always Mulan for her. So a lot of Mulans. Chris says Mulan's going to win, but he loves Vanellope. Arjon's Mulan. Public service announcement. Stop by Pinocchio's village house and sing the Blue Fairy's wish song. Yeah, you know what, Carga? That's true. That is in there. Brian, Rob, Mulan. Cargo says Vanellope is her spirit. Disney World Adventures, Mulan. Mulan is the only one he's heard of, so John's going with Mulan. Brian votes for Melissa. All right, so we are going, I agree. I'm going with Mulan. I think Mulan's such a strong character. I love that movie. I love everything about it. I think that's great. That's okay, Rob. No problem. So we are going with Mulan. All right, so the last matchup in round 2 is going to be the Fairy Godmother versus Aurora, Sleeping Beauty. Fairy Godmother versus Aurora, Sleeping Beauty. Yep, I'm a nut. So who do we have there? Talking about another really tough matchup. We have the Fairy Godmother versus Sleeping Beauty. Yes, Stacey, I did know that. Ming Na Wa, or Ming Na Wen, I think that's her name. Yes, she's the voice of Mulan. Yep, I did know that. I did know that. So AJ's picking Sleeping Beauty, Cargo's picking Sleeping Beauty, Stacey's picking the Fairy Godmother, Dee's picking the Fairy Godmother. So we're 2-2 right now on votes. Wow, how about that? Rob Fletcher's picking Aurora. Brian's picking the Fairy Godmother. Chris is still thinking about it. Disney World Adventures picking Sleeping Beauty. Melissa's picking the Fairy Godmother. Melissa, I'm surprised with you there. I thought for sure you were going to pick Aurora. So wow, this is really, really close. We're getting votes from we're getting a lot of votes for both. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, we are tied. Well, I get that, Brian. I know that, but oh man, John Hazelton picks Aurora. Yeah, it is tough, Melissa. I agree. R. John says Aurora. Chris says Aurora. I'm gonna have to go with Aurora. Sleeping Beauty. It's definitely it's a tough one, but you know she's a main princess. And I don't know. I just think her character is pretty... everybody knows she's sleeping. I mean, she's got her own castle in Disneyland, for crying out loud. Yeah, she did make it all possible, Melissa. I agree. She did. And everybody wants a fairy godmother. But Aurora's going to move on. You guys are probably hating my bracket right now. You're like, who's left? All right, so there you go. So we are now down from 32. We are now down to 16 left. 16 females. No, I guess it wasn't too bad, Chris, overall. Yeah, but they are going to get really, really hard. So here we go. Next matchup is going to be Cinderella versus Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Cinderella versus Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Who does everybody pick there? Because now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Here we go. Cinderella versus Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Melissa says Cinderella. It's okay, Cargo. FGM. AJ, Melissa, D. Everybody for Cinderella so far. Cargo with Alice. Stacy with Cinderella. Cargo, you are definitely the other side of the pillow tonight, aren't you? When it comes to voting. Chris says, see last round. It's Joey's World. Hey, welcome in. How are you? How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for dropping in. Definitely honored to have you in here. Appreciate it. Chris says Alice, but Cindy will win. Arjon says Cinderella. Rob Fletcher says Cinderella. Bye-bye, Alice. At Disney World Adventure, Cinderella. John Hazelton, Cinderella. Stacy says she has a collection of Cinderella movies. She loves that story. I do too. That's a great story. Hashtag Joey rocks. That's exactly right. Hope Joey's doing well. Hope he's doing well. Brian says Alice. And you know what, guys? I got to go with Cinderella. I'm sorry. I love Alice in Wonderland. She's you know, a great character, very wonderful. But I gotta go with Cinderella. I mean, it's Cinderella, for crying out loud. And so I'm gonna go with Cinderella. Yeah, I'm glad you did too, Joey's World. I'm glad you're in here. Thank you. Yep, she has the castle, John. You're right. That's exactly right. All right. All right, so let's move on. So we are going to move on to the next round, or the next matchup. And this is, again, another tough one. Here we go. We have Tinkerbell versus Rapunzel. Oh, my gosh. Chris, you were talking about these are going to get hard. They are getting hard. We have Tinkerbell versus Rapunzel. Cargo's favorite meet and greet is our John's character meet and greet. So Brian says Pink. Pink's not in this. She's not in this. Tink, Rapunzel. R. Johns is a Disney legend. Stacy says Rapunzel. John says Tink. Yeah, Chris, this is a hard one. R. John says Tink. Cargo says Rapunzel. D says Rapunzel. Yep, I have a dream. Disney World Adventure says Rapunzel. Joey's World, it's a dead heat. I know, it's a tough match. This one's really, really tough. It really is tough. Brian says Rapunzel's too high maintenance. Well, that hair sure is. Whew. So Chris says Tink represents Disney, but he likes Rapunzel better, so he's going with Rapunzel. Brian says too much for her. John says it's got to be the fairy. Stacy says Tinkerbell's annoying, but would love to meet her at the parks. And Rob says, Tinkerbell, she's on a float and she can fly from the castle. That's true. She can. But I have to go with Rapunzel. Rapunzel is an awesome character. Love the music. Love the movies. Love Mandy Moore, who voices her. I think her character is very, very awesome. She's one of my favorite meet and greets at Magic Kingdom when we go. So for me, it's going to be Rapunzel. Rapunzel's going to move on. Okay. Like I said, whew, man, we have really got some tough matchups. This next matchup is going to be Belle from Beauty and the Beast versus Elsa from Frozen. Wow, talk about a really tough matchup. Belle from Beauty and the Beast versus Elsa from Frozen. My goodness. Whew. That is a tough matchup right there. How does everybody vote there? AJ, you know what? I really enjoyed Tangled. I think it's a really good movie. Stacey, I've never seen This Is Us. Haven't seen it. Not yet, anyway. Melissa says Belle. Cargo singing the songs. Disney World Adventures, Cargo, AJ, pick Belle. Stacy says Elsa. D says Belle. It's Joey's Wells picking Elsa because she can sing. She can sing. She can definitely sing for sure. Rob's picking Belle. R. Johns is picking Belle. Chris is picking Belle. All right, Stacey, thanks for letting us know. Melissa and I might have... That's something I'd have to watch with Melissa. R. Johns the Belle. Good emoji, R. Johns. I like that. That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, as hard as that matchup is, I'm going with what I consider to be kind of the pro here. She's definitely the professional one, the professional princess, and that's going to be Belle for me. I think Anna's great, Elsa is a great character. Don't get me wrong, great singer. I'm not a big Frozen fan. I love Beauty and the Beast. So we're going with Belle on this one. Joey's well. Elsa can make frozen drinks. That's true. She can. There you go, D. Yeah, that's something to talk about on your show tonight. You can talk about This Is Us. Stacey gave you a topic for tonight. All right, so Belle moves on. So again, another really tough matchup. The next matchup is going to be Megara versus Jasmine. Megara versus Jasmine. So who does everybody pick here? We are now getting down to the nitty-gritty on characters. These matchups are really getting hard. Megara versus Jasmine. It won't bother her anyway. That's true, John. Chris, I enjoyed it. I think it's a good movie. I think Frozen's good. Stacy says Meg. Cargo says Jasmine. Chris says Jasmine. AJ says Meg. Disney World Adventures, Jasmine. John Hazelton, Jasmine. It's Joey's World, Jasmine. Lots of Jasmine votes. D, Jasmine. R. John's Jasmine. Well, I'm going to have to agree with everybody on this one, and I hate to say it, Meg, if you're watching, but this is where Megara is going to kind of bow out on this one, and Jasmine is going to move on to the next round. So that would have been my pick for sure. Hey, Holly Knopfsinger's in here. Hi, how are you today? Welcome in. Appreciate you joining us. Again, anybody that's in here for the first time, if you haven't already hit that like button for us, please do so. It definitely helps out the video and the channel. We'd appreciate it very, very much. And if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe for more live streams and Disney fun videos. We'd love for you to do that as well. And tonight we again are doing our Disney Female Bracket Challenge. And we are getting down, we're at our 16, we're getting down to our final 8 as we're doing our matchups. AJ, I love Meg's sassiness too. But I love Jasmine just a little bit more. So Jasmine's going to move on in this round for me. That's all right, Holly. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here. All right, so again, that finishes that side of the bracket. So now we're going to move over to the right side. And the next matchup is going to be, whew, here comes another tough one. Snow White versus Merida. Snow White versus Merida. So who does everybody pick here? My goodness, that's a tough matchup. Snow White versus Merida. I'll talk about a real tough matchup. Snow White versus Merida. Oh my gosh. Who does everybody pick there? AJ picks Snow White. Stacy Rogers, Merida. John, Snow White. John Hazelton, Snow White. So we got some Snow White votes. Mel picks Merida. Holly picks Merida. Cargo doesn't like either one. Well, you got to pick one, Cargo. Flip a coin. Chris picks Merida. It's Joey's World, Merida, because I met her and she was awesome. She is awesome. That meet and greet, Joey's World, that's a good point. That meet and greet at Magic Kingdom is a fantastic meet and greet as well. I love that meet and greet. I agree 100%. Disney World Adventures picks Snow White. D picks Snow White because Walt worked on her. That's true. Good point, D. Arjon's picks Snow White. Hey, human person's in here. What's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. He picked Snow White because she's hardcore for keeping the apple on her. John says, whistle while you work. Oh, Cargo, you can't pick Bashful. He's not in the bracket. Rob Fletcher picks Snow White. I am keeping that in mind, AJ. She was the first princess. I agree. Yeah, make sure everybody says hi to human person. And man, I really like both of these characters. I said this last week on the stream. Is I know a lot of folks are not big fans of Snow White's voice, but I actually like her voice. I like the fact that it's unique. There's no other voice like it. Hey, Stacy, I appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here, so I appreciate it. Make sure you watch the rest of it on the replay so you can see who won. So I am going to go with Snow White. I'm going to agree with everybody here. As hard as that is for me, I think she's such an iconic character. She was #1 first princess, so she's going to move on. Our Disney Adventures, hey, welcome in, Marisol. Welcome back. Glad you're here. Carter's picking Arjon's. That's funny. All right, let's move on. Next matchup is, oh my gosh, another really tough one. We have Dory from Finding Nemo versus Minnie Mouse. Dory versus Minnie Mouse. All right, Stace, we'll see you later. Thanks again. Dory versus Minnie Mouse. Talk about a really tough one there. Two iconic characters. Who does everybody pick there? Melissa's picking Dory. Dee says Minnie Mouse. So one for each right now. Dory and Minnie Mouse. Cargo says Dory. Holly says Minnie. Isaac. Welcome back, Isaac. Isaac's picking Dory. Oh my gosh. Man, this is really a hard one. AJ says, we're going with Dory. Disney World Adventures, Minnie Mouse. Human person, Minnie Mouse. Cargo's glad Melissa picked her pick. It's Joey's World says Minnie. That's a no-brainer. Dory reminds me of my great aunt. I hope that's a good thing. I hope that's a good thing. Arjon says Minnie. Our Disney Adventures is going with Minnie, although it was a tough one. John Hazelton says Minnie Mouse. Mickey gets all the credit. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. This is a tough one for me. Wow, this one is really tough. I don't want to see either one of these get eliminated. Chris says Minnie. I'm going to have to go with Minnie Mouse. I mean, she's such an iconic character. I'm going to go with Minnie on this one. Minnie Mouse moves on to the next round. All right, here we go. Again, tough matchup. But we have Ariel from The Little Mermaid versus the Blue Fairy. Rob, of course. Minnie, of course. Yep, Minnie moves on. So, Ariel versus the Blue Fairy. Cargo, I could be somebody's twin. Wow, he's a really good-looking guy then. I'm just kidding. That's so funny. Hope you didn't get in trouble, Cargo. Holly, this is probably going to be, that's a good question. I don't think it matters whether it's adult Dory or baby Dory. It's either one, because Dory's Dory to me. Whether it's whichever one you want to choose. If you want to choose her as the adult or the baby, it's fine. Yep, just keep swimming. Nathan picked her. Ariel. All right, so let's see who we're getting. We're getting Ariel, 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 Ariel. Blue Fairy, because she looks beautiful in the Mickey's, MSAP. MSEP. What is MSEP, you in person? John wants to be part of her world. Cargo never gets in trouble, she says. Phantom Gazer. Only one of these has 20 thingamabobs. Our Disney Adventures, John, Hazelton, all picking Ariel. So, you know what? We are going with Ariel. I agree. I love the Blue Fairy, but I think Ariel is going to move on. Oh, Main Street Electrical Parade. Yes, John. Human person. Thank you. I wasn't thinking. I should have known that. It's my favorite parade. All right, so here we go. Last matchup for the Sweet 16 as we get down to our last one that gets us down to the last 8 characters. So we have Mulan versus Sleeping Beauty, Aurora. So Mulan versus Sleeping Beauty. So who does everybody pick there, Aurora or Ariel? Another really tough matchup. Yeah, Blue Fairy's gone, Cargo. But, Cargo, you could do your own bracket and you could have her win. That's the best part about these. So Mulan, Mulan, Mulan. Sleeping Beauty, John. AJ says Mulan, no doubt. Isaac, Mulan. Cargo and Holly pick Sleeping Beauty. Disney World Adventures picks Sleeping Beauty. Nathan picks Mulan. So a lot of votes both ways. Marisol picks Sleeping Beauty. Human person says his reflection says Mulan. Reflections. It's Joey's World says Sleeping Beauty. Chris says Sleeping Beauty. Wow, a lot of votes there. All right. Wow. Holy mackerel. Well, I think for me, again, like I said earlier, I really enjoy both characters, but I'm going to go with Mulan. I think everybody, what you said earlier about her just kind of being, sleeping, it makes sense. And Mulan does so much. I mean, she saves China, for crying out loud. And she's really awesome. She's a great warrior. So I'm going to go with Mulan. All right, so we are down to our final 8 Disney female characters. And let's get going here. We are going to move on, and we'll do it as quick as we can. We are going to move on, and it's going to be, you ready for this? Now, the winner of this matchup moves on to the final 4. So we have Cinderella versus Rapunzel. That is a really tough matchup there. Cinderella versus Rapunzel. Cinderella versus Rapunzel. Yeah, AJ, that's a good point. That's true. Good point. Yeah, I know, Melissa. It's a tough one. Chris says Rapunzel. John Hazelton says Cinderella. Whew, man, this is going to be a toughie. Let me tell you. AJ picks Rapunzel. Brian picks Cindy. Cargo picks Rapunzel. D picks Rapunzel. Holly, you got to pick one. You got to pick one. Isaac picks Rapunzel. Brian picks Cinderella. Human person says Cinderella because she teaches us to be kind to people who might not deserve it. That's a good point. Good point. Joey's World picks Rapunzel because she can wield a mean frying pan. Yes, she can. John says, yeah, that's true, John. She is at the heart of the Magic Kingdom, for sure. Rapunzel. No, Cinderella. Can't choose. Marisol, this is a tough one. I agree. Our Johns is picking Cinderella. Well, Melissa, you have to make a pick. Holly picks Cinderella. Disney World Adventures, Cinderella. Brian, you only get one vote. One vote only. Cinderella for Brian, because she does the housework. Melissa, I'm waiting on your vote. You have to pick one. Not that it's going to matter. I've already made up my mind, but I just want to see who you pick. For those that don't know, Melissa Gover in the chat is my Melissa, just so you know. Rob Fletcher picks Cinderella. Okay, well, I'm not going to wait, Melissa, if you're not going to vote. So I'm moving on. And my winner is going to be... She picks Cinderella. Okay. Hey, Cargo, I appreciate you stopping in. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. No problem at all. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you. And Marisol says it's Cinderella for her too. And okay, so I'm going to agree. I think on that one, I'm going to go with Cinderella as well. I agree. Cargo, have a good night. We will not forget our favorite Canadian princess for sure. All right, so let's move on to the next matchup and another really tough one. We have Belle from Beauty and the Beast versus Jasmine. Belle versus Jasmine. So who does everybody pick there? Belle versus Jasmine. Who does everybody pick there? We have Belle versus Jasmine. Good night, Cargo. John Hazelton says Belle. There's one. Okay. Joey's Well, Belle. Rob Fletcher, Belle. Isaac, Belle. Chris, Belle. D, Belle. Holly, Belle. Melissa, Belle. AJ, Belle. Nathan, Belle. No Jasmine votes. Are you guys kidding me? Not even one. There you go. Jezebel. Jezebel. Chris, you're funny. Oh. You guys are really funny. Disney World Adventures. Thank you. It is a tale as old as time. But Jasmine has a whole new world. H. Oh, you guys are so funny. Jennifer Geiger, thank you. Another Jasmine vote. Marisol with Belle. You know what, Holly? That makes sense. She probably is everybody's favorite, to be honest with you. Yay, human person, Jasmine. Well, I tell you what, everybody knows that Jasmine is my favorite Disney princess, for sure. But Belle is a close second for me. Belle or Ariel. They are my top three of who I like the most. So any one of them can win for me, and I would be fine with it. But you know, the majority of everybody's picking Belle, so I'm going to go with Belle. I really don't mind. I do mind, but I'm going to do it anyway. And we'll go with Belle, because the majority of you guys picked Belle, so we'll go with Belle. So there you go. See, I'm a giver. All right, so that finishes it out. So we have our two of our final four set. And let's move on to this other side, and we have Snow White. Snow White versus Minnie Mouse. Snow White versus Minnie Mouse. Chris, you're welcome. I'll take a bow. There you go. Snow White versus Minnie Mouse. Who does everybody pick there? Melissa and AJ pick Minnie. D picks Minnie. Joey's World picks Minnie. Holly picks Minnie. Wow, I'm surprised at that. I really thought... Yep, that's the one. Chris picks Minnie. Disney World Adventures, Nathan, Jennifer. Well, Disney World Adventures and Nathan pick Minnie. Jennifer picks Snow White. Nope, human person, you got to pick one. R. Johns picks Minnie. Marisol picks Minnie. Rob Fletcher picks Minnie. Yeah, they do both have high voices, Rob. That's a good point. John Hazelton picks Minnie as well. I like both of these characters for sure. But, everybody else is picking Minnie. So I'm going to have to go with Minnie Mouse as well. I think we're going to go with Minnie Mouse. Well, Human Person, that's a good point. She did change the course of the entire, the entertainment industry in that respect. You're right. It really put, animation on the map as something that could be legitimately, taken seriously. I agree. Chris says Snow White might be the first princess, but Minnie is the first character in this tournament. Good point. That's true. Noah says Minnie Mouse, and he's back. Well, welcome back, buddy. All right, so Minnie's going to move on to the final four as well. So we have three of our four sets, and our last matchup to get us to the final four is another tough one: Ariel versus Mulan. We have Ariel versus Mulan. Whew, talk about a tough matchup. Ariel versus Mulan. My goodness gracious. That's a toughie, folks. Chris picks Ariel. Melissa, I know where you're... Oh, actually, you know what? I don't know where Melissa's going to go with this one. Now that I think about it, she loves both of these characters. Jennifer picks Ariel. Dee picks Mulan. Melissa? Yeah, you got to pick one, Melissa. Brian's going with Ariel, the fish. Our Disney Adventures is going with Ariel. AJ's going with Mulan. Noah's Ariel. Arjon's is Ariel. Holly's picking Ariel. John Hazelton is picking Ariel. Chris is... Melissa is rebelling, Chris. I think you're right. Rob Fletcher's picking Ariel. Oh, Melissa went with Ariel. There you go. How about that? And Joey's well says, Ariel, by land or by sea, she has a thingamabobs. That's true. That's right. She does. Either way, you're right. Dee's shocked with Melissa's pick. Human Person says he too. I can only assume I too made a deal with a sea witch for human legs, so this will have to be my pick. You're funny. Our Disney World Adventure says Ariel. So, all right. So we're going to go with... I'm going to go with Ariel. Yep, Ariel it is. So we have our final four set. So here we go. Final four matchups. And here's our first matchup of the final four. And this is a toughie. We have Cinderella versus Belle. Cinderella versus Belle. Our first matchup of the final fours. She looks like Ariel in the new Aquaman movie, doesn't she? Amber Heard looks like Ariel for sure. So Cinderella versus Belle. Brian says fish wins. AJ Belle. John Hazelton, Cinderella. Melissa, you got to pick one. Holly's going with Cinderella. Nathan's going with Ariel. Brian's going with Cinderella. Jennifer's going with Belle. Dee's going with Belle. Marisol can't make a pick. Disney World Adventures is going with Belle. Chris is going with Belle. Arjon's is going with Cinderella. Melissa, you can do it. Nathan's going with Cinderella. It's Joey's World's going with Cinderella. Noah's going with Cinderella. Wow, lots of picks. Oh my gosh. This is a tough one. For a Final Four matchup, this is a great matchup. Human Person says Cinderella because she's iconic, and poor her because Miss Piggy tried to replace her in a daytime parade. That's true. I remember that, yep. A dream is a wish your heart makes. It's the best I can do. So Melissa's going with Belle, but these last few rounds are killing her. All right. So here's my pick. Marisol, you got to make a pick. I got to have your pick. It is hard. But I am going with... Man, this is tough. But for me, I got to go with Belle. I'm sorry. I just do. Belle is a great character. And for me, it's going to be Belle. Belle's going to make it to the round, to the championship match. Yep, our Disney Adventures, that's my pick too. I'm going with Belle. So we have our first person set for the championship. And who will Belle be facing? Well, the matchup is Minnie Mouse versus Ariel. So we have Minnie Mouse versus Ariel. So, yep. So Belle is in the championship round, and she's going to be facing the winner of Minnie Mouse versus Ariel. So Melissa's going with Ariel. And remember, folks, if you're coming in for the first time, please hit that like button for me. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream and enjoying this bracket. It's a great bracket. Lots of really tough matchups and a lot of great characters. Hey, Dean's in here. Welcome in, Dean. Belle was going up against Cinderella, Dean, at the time, but Belle won. Yeah, AJ, this is definitely a tough one. Minnie Mouse versus Ariel. Yep. Melissa, we don't know that Ariel's won yet. Our Disney Adventures. Marisol picks Minnie Mouse. Joey's World picks Minnie Mouse. Brian's picking Ariel. Disney World Adventures is picking Ariel. Nathan's picking Minnie. Arjohn's is picking Minnie. Chris is picking Ariel. Then the final will be the Clash of Disney's 90s Reinvigoration. Rob Fletcher's picking Minnie. Dee's picking nobody. She's just saying hi to Dean. I just read right past that, Dee. Thanks, John. I'm glad, buddy. I'm glad you're having a good time. AJ's picking Minnie. Holly's picking Ariel. Nathan's picking Minnie. You know, I love Minnie Mouse, but I really love Ariel's character. I love her voice. Hey, Sherry's in here. Hey, Sherry, how are you? Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. We are getting down there. You're just in time. We're going to have our championship matchup. But it's going to be Ariel for me. It's got to be Ariel. I think she's got to make it to the final round. So at this point, we are set. Our final matchup is going to be Ariel. Oh my gosh, this is really going to be hard. Ariel versus Belle, everybody. Ariel versus Belle. Talk about a tough championship match. Ariel versus Belle. Who does everybody pick here? Well, let's see. You got to make a pick. Brian's picking Ariel. AJ's picking Ariel. Dee doesn't know who she's going to pick. Dean's picking Ariel. Chris says, Melissa, grab a coin. Heads, it's Belle. Tails, it's Ariel. That's what he's doing. Disney World Adventures, Belle. Noah says Belle. Dee saying Belle. Holly saying Belle. Nathan's still thinking about it. It's Joey's World is going with Ariel. Marisol's going with Belle. There you go. Arjon says Ariel. My goodness. Nathan's going with Ariel. There you go. Chris is saying Belle. Nathan, you can only make one pick. Jennifer's going with Ariel. Hey, Rosa Merida, welcome in. How are you? Thanks for coming in. You're coming right at the right time. We're down to our final matchup. We're in our championship match. Rob Fletcher says Belle for the win. Human Person says Ariel because she changed the way the animation studios made stories are told. Animation stories were told. That's a good point. Come on, Melissa. You got to make a pick. Dog's he's ready to go. Because I think I know which way I'm going with this one, but I want to see what everybody else is. We have a lot of different votes. I mean, this is really, really equal. AJ, I don't know if you've been counting, but I'm wondering where the votes are. Gee, this poor provincial town. Come on, Melissa. Everybody's waiting on you. So whichever one she picks, I'm going to pick the opposite. I'm just kidding. Rosa, our choices right now are Belle from Beauty and the Beast versus Ariel from The Little Mermaid. That's the choices right now. And Puppy Dog wants to get let out, so I'm going to let him out. Go ahead, pal. There he goes. I don't have a coin. Dog is late. He is late, John. You're right. All right. So, this is really hard for me because I really love the music and the voice of Ariel in The Little Mermaid. I love the songs from The Little Mermaid. And I really love the music and the voice of Belle in Beauty and the Beast, and I love all the songs from Beauty and the Beast. Rosa's saying Ariel. There you go. So there's another Virgo. So what is it, Melissa? I don't know. Was Tails Ariel? You don't know that. It might be Ariel. Oh my gosh, this is really, really hard. I don't have a coin. Somebody want to flip a coin for me? No, I'm just kidding. I am going to go with... I just don't know. I don't want to pick a winner here. All right, I'm going with Belle. I'm sorry, everybody. All the Ariel votes, I'm sorry out there. But for me, I am going with Belle. Belle is my pick. Here comes Melissa. Melissa gave me a coin. It's too late. I already picked. She came up and gave me a coin. She's so funny. Hermione. Chris says Hermione. Yes, yeah, Hermione wins. Hermione for the win. AJ says no. So there you go, guys and gals. We did it. We were able to get 64 female Disney characters. We voted. We laughed. We cried. We yelled. We screamed. We had a good time. I hope you guys and gals had a great time. I certainly did. And we got it all the way down to the championship. And the winner is Beauty and the Beast's very own Belle. And there you have it. That was intense, AJ. I agree 100%. Melissa ran all the way upstairs just to give me a coin, but it was too late. So Belle is the winner of the bracket. So everybody, thank you everybody for hanging in there. I know we're well over our normal hour that we do. We flip coins too, Joey's World, for sure. That was a fun bracket. I really enjoyed that bracket. I'll definitely hold on to that for those down the road who might want to do one themselves. But I had a great time tonight, everybody. Shout outs to everybody out there. Please, if you haven't subscribed to everybody in the channel or in the chat tonight, please do so. A lot of great channels out there. You'll find a lot of them at the live place. Dean with Dreamers Empire. He hosts live shows over there, live streams all the time. They're family friendly. They're wonderful. Lots of Disney, lots of other things too. So please check out the live place. They hosted us tonight, and they're always wonderful. Again, please go out and subscribe to everybody in the channel tonight, or in the chat tonight. You have some really wonderful channels out there. A lot of folks could really use the support. If you're new to our channel here at Mouse Talk, we'd love for you to give us a thumbs up for this video and subscribe to our channel as well for more live streams. Well, we'll be doing more stuff like that, like this. We do top 10s, we do bests and worst, we do all kinds of fun stuff. John, we are on Thursday. Hope to see you guys back on Thursday. I definitely had a great time with everybody. And be sure to go see a Disney Life for Me at 10 o'clock at the live place as well. They will be doing their live stream at 10 o'clock. They do a great job. Dee and Miguel are there. They have a good time, so please go see them. But again, folks, on your way out, give us that thumbs up. We definitely appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We love you guys. You guys are awesome. You're definitely our friends, just like Disney Dan always says. And I really enjoyed it, guys. This is one of our best streams. Everybody's been wonderful. And yeah, we'll see you on Joey's World. We'll see you on Friday night for sure over at Resort TV 1. We'll try to stop in. But yeah, visit the live place. AJ, the Kingdom Times, one of our partner channels, is in here tonight as well. Please go out and see his channel. He does a great job as well. But thank you all very much, everybody. Have a great night. Please take care of yourselves and each other. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.